Okay, welcome back. It is Pieta and Carrie from Menopause. Hope you guys are well. Thanks for watching. Today we're talking to those people who feel derailed and embarrassed by hot flushes when at work. We've got 5 no sweat tips to help you manage your menopause and stress on the job while still leading the way forward. That sounds amazing. So if you were to ask the average person what menopause is, they're likely to say it's the stage in life when middle-aged women become moody, hot, and sweaty. Okay, less of the moody, thank you very much, how rude. But hot and sweaty, yes. Okay, we totally get that one. And that's down to those annoying hot flashes, which can strike at any time, in particular, like when you're right in the middle of a meeting at the office. So one minute you're feeling together, your hair is finally doing what it's meant to be doing, your makeup is on point, your clothes are feeling good, until the hot flash hits, and then you look like Patsy out of Ad Fab, minus the champagne party. But whether you're at work or in a public situation, some of the symptoms of peri and menopause can feel completely debilitating and sometimes super embarrassing. And this can in turn exacerbate even more symptoms. And before long, we feel very stressed and overwhelmed. We feel like our bodies and our minds are completely out of control.
Absolutely. And you know what? It goes without saying, first of all, that we really hope you are working in one of those forward-thinking, menopause-friendly businesses that supports you, your environment, and facilitates the right conversations with your colleagues, with your leaders. Now, this is vital, and it's an invaluable work that both Pieta and I support in businesses. So if you feel your business can really benefit from that, get in touch. We'd love to come and work with you. But we want more than that for you individually. We want you to have complete agency over your body so that you can move right to the center of your circle of control when your symptoms show up at work and otherwise. To step forward, really owning where you are, not back. Now, as we've discussed before, there's over 50 symptoms associated with this time in life. And as I know more and as I coach more women around this, the list grows. So while we know you'll be dealing with these really individually, because every menopause journey is different, let's talk about some of those which come up most frequently and are the most challenging in a work or a public situation where you really want to hold your power, your position, and you want to handle things with grace and confidence.
Absolutely. I'd say the very first one is heat, not surprisingly. The phrase hot flushes or hot flashes does not even go part way to describe the all-consuming, enveloping heat waves that we can feel overcome with throughout the day and night. So let's be honest, they can even feel prickly and sometimes painful. They can completely derail our thoughts. So you could be in the middle of a conversation, maybe at work, you can be having coffee with your friends, and it can literally just stop you in your tracks from losing focus, concentration, and you just feel yourself turn completely beetroot red.
Yeah, and I think we've got to call out some of the words and language around menopause because it's as you said, the hot flash just doesn't sum it up. They can feel really violent, and that's what we're dealing with. Then we get fear and all sorts of emotions. So then we've got brain fog. Now, there is so much going on with our brains at this time because the hormones, which once controlled much of it, have diminished. We feel like our brains are almost shrinking because they are, I'm sorry to say. Now, that's not to say we can't do so much to prevent and manage this, but this is why women are so much more prone to dementia and brain decline than men. When we lose a train of thought or our composure as we struggle to find words, this then feels really stressful, doesn't it? But we want to say there are ways to manage this, both in the moment and ongoing as well.
Absolutely. There's so much you can do. And obviously, this kind of stress can also trigger anxiety. We have coached so many women who are, in very high level jobs and roles who tell us that they've gone from feeling, incredibly super confident and calm and controlled leaders at work to then suddenly feeling very anxious and worried insecure and then also inadequate, which is a huge shift, which is why it's no wonder a lot of women don't end up carrying on at work. Maybe they decide to leave. But again, we want to reassure you, you have not changed personality. I know it feels like that sometimes. You are very much still inside that body, that even though it feels a little alien to you right now, quite simply, once more, the chemicals that once controlled every single bodily function from digestion to your sleep have changed. You are still inside that amazing body of yours, even though it feels like it's betraying you right now. You can find ways to control the bursts of anxiety and that explicable worry. I totally understand that. And that pop up any different, all sorts of different times of the day and night. You can do a lot about that.
Yeah, you definitely can. So, okay, let's move on to our 5 no sweat top tips. And I want to firstly just put the context around this. These are just physiological responses to chemical changes in your body that you're feeling. You and your mind has not gone anywhere. It has not fundamentally changed. The only thing that has are the chemicals that have controlled the way that they work. So what we're going to give here are just some of the best ways that we know to get in control of your physiology when those symptoms take hold. Now, first and probably most importantly, I would say develop a breath work practice. Naturally, when we feel stressed, embarrassed, out of control, our heart rate goes up. So we can go into what we call fight or flight response. Absolutely, cortisol going crazy. And then all the symptoms are exacerbated. Now, our body doesn't differentiate between the stressor. Yeah, it can be a lion or it can be that heat. It just does what it does. And then our temperature can go up further too, which make the symptoms so much worse. However, when we calm that breath and when we come into the moment, we take back all of our control. From simple box breathing through the nose to just elongating the exhale in the moment. This is the quickest way to calm the waves of anxiety while reminding ourselves there's nothing to be fearful of and taking the heart rate down, feeling safe. Because the heart communicates far more to the head than the other way around. Our magnetic field for our heart is huge. So that's what we're bringing into control. And this has a knock-on effect because it affects our ability to think from the front of the brain clearly and to make purposeful responses when we feel like this. This is about managing our communication around the body optimally. So adopting a breathwork practice, both 3 to 4 times a day for at least 5 minutes at a time. And there's so many breathwork practices. Come and work with us, come and talk to us. In addition to remembering to come to the breath in moments of fear and panic can immediately put you back at the helm of situations.
Absolutely. I found that box breathing always so helpful, even as a teenager having anxiety and panic attacks. And even now, like it is one of those tools that you can use at any point in your life.
Yeah.
Number 2, stay hydrated. So it makes sense that heat and body temperature will be so much worse if we are not hydrated. And since most of our bodies are made up of water, we must remain topped up with hydration to manage those sweats and that wave of warmth that we've been talking about. So what does this mean? Well, we recommend you topping up in the morning with alkalized water. So that's water that's infused with lots of lemon and lime juice added. And you start with at least about a litre in the morning. And by all means, you can top this up with other infusions like white and green teas in the morning. And then, of course, at lunchtime, topping up again with at least half a litre. Things like mint and lemon teas can be really helpful too, to help with, feeling alert in the afternoon, particularly if you're feeling tired and your energy is waning. But we're aiming for around about 3 litres a day. Now, for all of those coffee lovers out there, and for those that love the glass of rosé now and then, yes, that's certainly not going to help. Okay, they do trigger further hot flushes, and it's really associated with that severe vasomotor symptoms. So manage the intake really carefully. Just make sure that you're diluting it and having a lot more water around your coffee and that rosé.
Yeah, definitely. And if you are drinking the night before you're due to go into a difficult work situation, we just know it's not your friend. The symptoms are going to be exacerbated, both stress and anxiety, and heat too. So the next one for me is, when you're feeling that stress and anxiety, take a moment. And this isn't rocket science, but you know what? So many women we coach feel paralyzed when these symptoms hit, and almost go into like a frozen state while they're trying to force through whatever it is they're doing, not being able to think and feeling boiling hot. So we advise you to own these moments wherever you are at that time, from the boardroom presentation to an exercise class. Just know you need a few minutes, and it's okay for you to take them. Get up if you need to, excuse yourself, step out, drink water, and breathe. And don't go back until you're ready and you once again feel in control of the moment. Look, you're confident, mature, strong women. We've been through a lot to get to this point. And you know what? We can take a break if we need it. This shows strength and confidence, whereas sometimes we think it shows the opposite. So own your moments, ladies.
Own your moments. All right, number 4 is exercise, and exercise early in the day. I mean, it might seem counterintuitive that sweating during exercise would help, but it actually really does. Exercise enhances that thermoregulation and control of sweating in the skin, and also brain blood flow. So when we move the body first thing in the day, there are so many benefits for everyone, but particularly for women during menopause. Firstly, we all get the good chemicals, that big rush of chemicals moving around the body, from adrenaline to serotonin, which can really help so much, particularly if we're struggling with sleep. There was one recent study which examined about 10,000 people of their MRI brain scans. And these people who regularly engaged in physical activities such as walking or running or some kind of sport, they had larger brain volumes in their grey matter, which really helps with processing information, which is very handy. And the flooding the brain early naturally really helps with this, and it really sets you up for the day. So during menopause, women really, really need this. Exercising early in the morning really helps, almost kickstarting your body and your brain into action. You're setting yourself up for success, and also the anxiety will diminish.
Yeah, absolutely. And don't forget that we're setting you up for success, not just for the here and now, but for the second half of your life. And that is the exercise, the brain, the brain mass, the muscles. So we're going to come to talk about what we wear in these situations. So number 5, if you haven't before, that you are going to need to start dressing for comfort above all else. Now, in perimenopause, you may experience the dreaded flooding. So that sort of almost goes without saying. You're going to have to think about what color you're wearing. White isn't necessarily our color in menopause. But you know what? Let's think about going with, first of all, above all else, really natural materials. Synthetic materials are not going to help you. They will make you sweat more. So we want breathable, we want light. And I would say probably so that it's easy to strip off layer by layer, but it's also easy to put layer by layer back on if that you need to quickly, because you're going to change temperature, and you're going to be able to need to accommodate this with comfortable clothes that you still feel really good in. This does not mean a compromise on, but just ensure that your waist and chest is not restricted, and your whole body can breathe with ease in that comfort. And also switch your cotton nightwear during the night to, or even silk. Silk is great, along with silk pillowcases and actually silk bed sheets. They're fabulous. So these are by no means an all-inclusive or exclusive list, because we look at the body holistically. And within our programs, we incorporate nutrition and the mind and our mental tools to be able to control mind, body, emotions at this time. So these are a great start, and they're going to give you some anchor points to really start to feel more confident at a work environment situation and to own what's happening to you.
Absolutely. So if you're interested in working with us one-to-one, you will find our 12-week Menopause link in the comments below where you can explore. In this course, you'll be encouraged to follow a tailored prescribed workout plan, tailored nutrition strategies, wellness protocols for hormone health. Plus, you'll benefit from one-to-one personalized coaching with Carrie and I throughout that 12-week period to ensure not only that you trust in your body again, but that you reclaim your power, you thrive during this time of change. So next up, thanks again, Carrie, for yet again an amazing
Thank you.
jam-packed video. But next up, we are talking to those who feel frustrated with hormonal mood swings and perhaps the libido is lacking. We've got some helpful insight on how to help you smooth out emotions and to help loved ones understand menopause without those strained conversations or cancelling sex forever. So thanks again for watching, everyone. We will see you again soon.